With less than a month to Persona 5 Royal, I wanted to release an updated fusion guide for the Strength Confidant for two reasons. One, I promised because I spoke too fast in the last one, and two, because having the DLC personas ruins some of the fusion recipes. So this guide's for those with the DLC, especially if you own the Kaguya, Izanagi, and Ariadne DLC, as I'll be using them for my recipes, and they'll make the process a lot easier. A big disclaimer is that this guide will not work for Persona 5 Royal, because the persona requests and recipes are different. This is only for the original Persona 5. With that out of the way, let's jump in. The first request is a Jack Frost with Mabufu. It's very simple, as you only need to create a Jack Frost, as it will learn Mabufu at level 12. The simplest fusion recipe is fusioning a Silky and Mandrake. Both are recruitable in the first palace, but you can fusion for a Silky with Agathion and Jack-o'-lantern, and if you don't have a Mandrake, then you can make it with Jack-o'-lantern and Arsene. Once you have your Jack Frost, if your Magician Confidant rank is high enough, it will gain enough experience to learn it, but if it's still too low, you can just grind it to level 12. With that, we complete our first request of Jack Frost from Mabufu. The second request is a Shiisa with Frey. You can make life easier by using the Jack Frost you made and fusion it with Makami. Makami has Frey naturally, so you just have to pass it down and you'll be complete. Makami can be recruited in the second palace, but you can also make it using Jack Frost and Apsaras. If you don't have Apsaras, you can make it with our boy Jack Frost and Agathion. Now we have our second persona request finished with Shiisa inheriting Frey. The third request is Matador with Masaru. The easiest recipe to use is Nekomata and Arsene. Nekomata comes naturally with Masaru and can be recruited in the third palace. If you didn't recruit it, you can fusion it with a Jack Frost, that's right buddy, and Regent, the treasure demon found in the second palace, and mementos. If you don't have Regent, you can fuse either Kaguya or Kaguya Picaro with Kelpie, who was recruited in the first palace, or by fusioning Mandrake and Arsene. With that, we made our Matador with Masaru. The fourth request is Flowers of Tower Kaja. This is a triple fusion requiring the following personas: Barret, Andras, and Eligor. Eligor has Tower Kaja naturally, so it's just about gathering all three to fuse for it. Barret can be recruited back in the first palace and mementos, but if you miss your chance, then you can fuse for it using Kelpie and Mandrake. Andras can be recruited in the first palace and mementos, but if you missed it, then you can fuse for it using Silky and Kelpie. Lastly, Eligor can be found in mementos, but more than likely you'll create it using Angel and Jack Frost. Angel can be fused with Succubus and Arsene. If you don't have Succubus, you can make it with Agathion and Arsene. Once you have those, just pass down Tower Kaja from Eligor and you'll have your florals. The fifth request is ame-no-uzume with Dodge Side. The easiest recipe to make it is using Kinky and Kaguya. Kinky learns Dodge Side at level 27. If your chariot rank is high enough, you should be able to reach that level through fusion, but if you don't, then it's just a quick 2-level grind. You can make Kinky by fusioning Floros and Matador, both personas we've made in the previous requests. Once Kinky has Dodge Side, just buy Kaguya from the compendium and you have your ame-no-uzume with Dodge Side. The sixth request is Neko Shogun with Dekaja. This is a triple fusion with Anzu, Kodama, and Sudama. Anzu learns Dekaja at level 28. If your Hierophant Confidant rank is high enough, it should be able to reach level 28. But if it's not, then you can either grind for it or sacrifice a treasure demon or higher level persona to gain enough experience to reach level 28. You can easily fuse it using Kaguya Picaro, bought from the compendium, and Matador, a previous persona we needed for the Confidant. Kodama can be made with Angel and Arsene. Finally, Sudama can be made with Matador and our ever useful Jack Frost. Once your Anzu has Dekaja, fuse all three and you have your Neko Shogun with Dekaja. The seventh request is Lachesis with Tetraja. You can easily inherit Tetraja by using Clotho and Regent. Clotho learns Tetraja at level 27. If your Fortune Confidant is high enough, which should only be 1 or 2 ranks, you'll be able to have it ready when you fuse for it. In the case you don't, you can grind at 1 level or sacrifice a persona for it to level up once. You can make Clotho by using Silky and Pixie. Regent can be found in the second palace or mementos. In the case you don't have Regent, you can still use Clotho, and if you own the Ariadne DLC, you can buy Ariadne Picaro to fuse the two to make a Lachesis. The 8th request is a Hecaton trees with Masukanda. You can pass down Masukanda from a fusion with Thoth and Choronsen. Thoth comes naturally with Masukanda, so all you have to do is either recruit it from Mementos or fuse for it with Eligor and Regent. If you don't have Regent, you can buy Ariadne Picaro and fuse it with Archangel. You can make Archangel with Eligor and Andrus. For Choronsen, you can use the ame-no-uzume we made before and fuse it with Kaguya Picaro. The alternative is also using Neko Shogun with Izanagi to make it. With these two, you can make Hecaton trees with Masukanda. The 9th request is a Bugs with Samarakarm. This is a triple fusion with Harari, Pixie, and Pisaka. First, Harari will learn Samarakarm at level 41. If your Empress Confidant rank is high enough for one level up, then you'll be able to get the fusion alone. If not, then you can just grind it out or sacrifice a persona to earn enough for one level. You can make Harari using Takeminakata and Choronsen. To make a Takeminakata, you can fuse Choronsen and Eligor to make it. Since we already made Choronsen in the 8th request, we can easily make Harari. Pixie is a persona we obtained in the beginning of the game, so no need for a recipe. For Pisaka, we can use Matador and Regent to create it. If you don't have Regent, you can use Anzu and Makami to make it, both personas we've created before. Once you have all three and Harari learns Samarakarm, you can complete the request with your Bugs with Samarakarm. The 10th and final request is set with High Counter. This is a quad fusion using Isis, Thoth, Anubis, and Horus. While none of them inherently learn High Counter, we can either A. Complete a side quest called The Killer Who Takes Out the Trash, attained on October 14th, and you'll be rewarded with a High Counter skill card, or B. We can actually fuse for it. First, let's make our required personas. Isis is a recruitable persona from the 4th Palace, but you can also make it using Jack Frost and Kodama. Though, while we have made it before in the 8th request, this is a separate recipe in order to gain High Counter. This time we are fusing for Dakini and Silky. Here Dakini can learn High Counter at level 52. If your Empress Confidant rank is high enough, it should be able to level up twice to learn it. If not, then you can just grind the 2 levels or sacrifice a persona to gain enough experience to level up twice. You can make a Dakini by fusing Lamia and Queen's Necklace. Lamia is a recruitable demon from the 4th Palace, but can also be easily obtained using Isis and Eligor. Queen's Necklace is found in the 3rd Palace and Mementos. But in the case you do not have a Queen's Necklace, the alternative is to fuse Bugs and Jatayu to make Dakini. Jatayu can be made using Kodama and Berit. Next, Anubis can be made by fusing Angel and Pixie. Finally, we can make a Horus using Bugs and your newly acquired Anubis. With all 4 personas made and passing down High Counter from Dakini to our Thoth, we can make Set with High Counter. Hopefully this guide has served you better, not just because I slowed down my voice, but also introducing new fusion recipes. I figure since most of you are already in New Game Plus, you will have the Treasure Demons, but if that's not the case, hopefully those who own the DLC will appreciate how easy some of these recipes became because you own Kaguya, Izanagi, and Ariadne. If any of you have an even easier recipe, post it down below in the comments. In addition, expect the Persona 5 Royal Fusion Guide to be available around when the game comes out. Till then, stay salty.